Alright folks, they'll be doing an oil change on the M279 V12 in this 2019 S65 Coupe. Now this process should be pretty much the same whether it's in an S-Class, SL, or G-Wagon. The M279 is very similar to the M275 V12, which goes all the way back to 2004 and 2005-ish. So the process should be even pretty similar to those cars as well. If you have an M275, the process may vary slightly, but it should be overall more or less the same. For this generation of vehicles, there is no physical dipstick. However, you can get a physical dipstick tool for the M275. I'm unsure if this tool is compatible with the M279, but if I were to guess, it probably is compatible as they are very similar, like I said. However, I've been told that using the digital readout is actually good enough for the M279 inside the cluster screen, which should tell us if we're at the right level or not. This engine does require about 11.1 liters of oil completely dry. Now, this will not be completely dry as we're doing a quick change here, and it's not going to be completely empty when we do remove the oil. The MB approval spec is 229.5, I believe. I'll put the correct one on the screen in front of you guys, which I have in front of us here, which is Motul 8100 XS 540. You can also use 040 in these cars as well, but for this climate, I think 540 is more suitable. Plus, pretty much every car here uses this Motul 8100 XS 540, which is why I like to use it here, just for the sake of consistency as well. We do change the oil in this car about every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, which some may say is overkill, but I think is pretty much perfect for these things, especially considering they're all high-performance engines that are driven and treated as such. So I would say 5,000 miles is the upper end of where you want to push these. I think the dealer interval is a bit longer than that, but don't do that. Do about 5 and you'll have a very happy engine for a very long time. Anyways, let's get to it now. First thing we want to do is start the car up, get it to operating temperature. We want this oil to be warm so it comes out nice and easily. I also have my suspension lift up right now, which is why it looks like a monster truck, just to make it easier to fit my jack below the car. And looks like our oil temp is up, so we can go ahead and shut the car off. Now that the car is nice and warmed up, let's go ahead and pop the hood, which is just under the dash. You can find a little red catch. Kind of got a feel for the little catch right there to release it. And there we go. Let's give ourselves a lay of the land of this M279 V12. Again, if you do work with M275s, this will look very similar. Now, some M279s, especially in the S-Class, do have covers on these sides. This car does not have them for whatever reason. Couldn't tell you why. But anyways, we'll be going ahead and taking off this whole engine cover first, which is somewhat daunting as it is carbon fiber and it's very expensive, so we'll be pretty careful. All right, so before we take off the actual cover, just so we know, there actually is a spot for a dipstick over here. And if you take it off, you'll see there is no dipstick, just a little cap. The filter's over here, you fill up with oil over here. But to get better access to everything and not to damage anything, we're going to take off all these covers. So you pull up on this metal one first, up front, and you just gotta kind of shimmy it out of there. We'll put this in a safe place. And then the carbon cover does pop off as well. This one is actually not seated correctly, which is interesting. We need to take a look at that a little later. But we'll be very careful and just sort of pull. There we go. It's always nerve-wracking. Okay, there we go. Take a look at that. It's just one piece of carbon fiber. And now we can see it's actually quite dusty here. This car we've only owned for about 3,000 miles. Gotta say, it's kind of surprisingly dirty for a car with only 20,000 miles, but I guess it just doesn't take much, does it? So what you should use is a 14 flute 74mm oil filter wrench. The closest I could find was a 76mm 14 flute oil filter wrench. So it's more of a loose sort of fit on here, which you do risk damaging that filter housing cap. So what I would do is take a towel, just shove it in here like this. And by the way, you can find the correct size at auto parts stores. I couldn't find this. It's the closest one I could get at AutoZone. So just keep that in mind. But it is a pretty perfect fit once you do have some sort of a towel, at least just to get in the way there to kind of jam it in there. It also prevents any marring or damage to the surface of that oil filter housing cap. And before we actually do take it off, I want to go ahead and mention that we should also put quite a few towels in the area just so that we don't spill oil everywhere. You can see it's not the cleanest engine bay as it should be. So we're going to go ahead and clean all this stuff out at some point as well. And before we actually do that, we want to make sure that things are sort of covered up and not susceptible to getting oil on, especially the belt down below. If you get oil on the belt, you could cause yourself lots of pain down the line. So just go ahead and make sure you get the area nice and cleaned up so you don't spill everywhere. All right, that looks pretty good to me. We can go ahead and now shove this guy on here. Grab our ratchet. And away we go. Keep in mind, this oil is at operating temperature, so it is going to be warm. Got the cartridge nice and loose here. You can see how thin that oil is. I'm actually going to pick up my drain pan over here. And we're just going to put this right there. All right. All right, so I jacked the car up from the front central jack point, which is right over here. So there's your front central jack point. That's how I lift the car up. With the suspension lifted, it already makes it much easier to get your jack under the car, which is what I would do. And now we must remove this middle tray, which is a series of what appears to be 8mm bolts, which most Mercedes have from this era. So we're going to remove all those from the front and the back, and we can drop this entire tray. Pretty cool, these naked ducts are kind of built into the tray, which is nice. We can see the oil cooler as well, at least, or some sort of cooler. Not sure exactly which cooler this is. Could be transmission as well. Not entirely sure. What I do know is that unlike the M156, the M279 does not have a drainable oil cooler, so we can't get all of the oil out in one go. Currently, I do only have the front of the car lifted in the air, which will make things a bit awkward when draining the oil. I'll have to check and see the angle of the drain plug. If it's facing backwards, we should be fine. There should be all the oil coming out regardless. But in good practice, you should also lift the rear to have the car relatively level to drain the pan. Just think of the car being on a lift at the shop, at the dealership or whatever. It'll be on a level surface regardless. So what you can also do is while it's draining, go ahead and lift the rear of the car in the air just temporarily to get the oil all the way out. Then put it back on the ground, put your drain plug back in, all the stuff back in, and you should be in a good spot. So let's go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back with you guys when we are ready to drain. I sure am missing my Milwaukee ratchet right now. Oh, well. All right, under the S65, something peculiar I've noticed is, well, first of all, look how nice and clean everything is down here. Nice of working on a new car, or a new work car at least. Well, folks, something peculiar below the S65. Not sure why there are two crush washers there. I don't think the M279 is supposed to have that. I've never seen that in my life. I'm going to talk to some AMG techs, validate that that's wrong, so we don't put on two, or we'll put on the correct number of crush washers, I should say. And yeah, get back to you with that information, but for now, let's start draining. All right, so it is indeed a 13mm. That's a little game I like to call, will Sam avoid making a mess or not? Let's see what this oil looks like. It should be around 3,000 to 4,000 miles old, if the previous owner didn't lie to us. 13mm plug. Oh my gosh, that's tighter than it should be. Supposedly this car was dealer serviced its whole life at Mercedes-Benz of New Orleans. Now, of course, it's in California. And this drain plug position is interesting. It's such that I could easily be making a huge mess. Let's see if I can position this better. You may be wondering, well, Sam, you talked about potentially using the extraction method earlier, but I didn't end up doing that. That's because my extractor only can fit 9.5 liters, which is already kind of scraping what an M156 holds. For an M279, we have a little bit more in here, so even less sort of space. So I would have to drain out more anyways. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, there we go. Wow. Honestly, you know what? That wasn't too bad. Really wasn't too bad. Let's hope it drains fast enough. Come on, don't fill up the pan. Ooh, this thing's filling up fast. Prevent it from overflowing. Oh, geez. Uh-oh. So, I put the plug back in because my oil drain pan over here is about to overflow. Which is dumb because it's empty right now and this little cap is open. It's happened to me once before, and I don't know why it happens. It's just air trapped in there, I guess. And of course that oil is hot, remember. I mean, it's just been an operating temperature not too long ago, so Well, crisis averted. The last time this happened to me, the entire pan overflowed. I made a huge mess in my garage out in Houston, so this is definitely the better of those two scenarios. Got my eye on you. Yeah, didn't make a horrible mess back here, which is great. All right, that looks good enough for me. Go ahead and put the drain plug back in with a fresh crush washer. Always change your crush washer. I've also bought a new drain plug because you just never know the condition of the original drain plug when you get a new car. So we're going to go ahead and ditch the old one, which should have some signs of rounding on it, which I didn't really like. So glad we have a new one. I'll keep the old one as a backup. Going to go ahead and put this guy back in, and we can go ahead and get our new filter set up soon after, before we add the new oil. Insert torque spec here. Let's go ahead and reinstall our new filter. I've just kind of rested our cartridge back in place. We need to change all three, actually all four of these O-rings, 1, 2, 3, and 4, along with the filter. Now, the OE supplier for the OE filter is Hengst. They also have the filter with M156, which you've seen me use plenty of times before. Go ahead and grab one of these, and it should come with all of your gaskets you need. As you can see, we have all 4 O-rings here. Very convenient, makes things nice and easy. You'll typically want to coat your new O-rings in some old oil just to lubricate them before installation. My gloves are nice and oily, which is more than enough. Please do not forget to change these O-rings. These can cause major problems with pressurization, etc. if you don't. All right. Now, completely optional, what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit of oil in the filter housing just to kind of prime it to make things easier for startup. Now, that shouldn't really be a huge deal, but it's just something I like to do. And 25 Newton meters. I'm going to put in about a total of 9 liters for now, and then we can check and see what the car tells us. All right, so that's 9. That's closed, that's torqued. No leaks down there. Just started the car for about 10 minutes. No leaks, no nothing. So I'm going to put the under tray back on, and I'll put the car level, and we can check the actual level via the sensor and see what it says. It's gonna make us wait. All right, finally got this thing to read. I wish this car had a normal dipstick. That would be lovely. I'll probably buy the physical one for testing next time I do this, but looks like just adding about 9 liters was enough to put this at the quote-unquote normal, I guess, a level. I will drive this car around and see if it asks for more. There's almost no way of getting every single thing out, especially because you can't drain the coolers individually. We can't leave this looking like this, can we?